Kevin and his team have various unique practices at Uhuru, from playing music to the cows, washing the cowshed and cows, and even naming of their cows. One of the cows has a plastic bull ring, not because she is hostile, but it is used to prevent her from suckling herself. They also spread soda ash on the resting areas, which they say helps control diseases like mastitis. Kevin and his crew must be doing something right here at Freedom Dairy Farm. He says that the production has been a constant upward trend.
For us, we are at a place where, number one, the demand of milk here is so high. We can't even beat the demand. We are producing now something close to 400 liters a day. Our total high has been 460 over the last 3 months. And again, the same way that animals want consistency in milking, consistency in cleaning, consistency in feeding, it is the same way that customers also want consistency with milk. They want consistency with hygiene, consistency with timing, consistency with even the quality, you know. And so for us, the good thing in any business, if you can't beat your demand, then you're at a good place. Right now we are doing 400 liters. And with all those people doing 400 liters, there's a customer that is still on our books that wants 500 liters every day, but we just can't. And so our main urgency right now is to make sure that we are growing our herd to at least maybe 1,000 liters in the next year or so. And then now we will start maybe think of adding value or expanding on that.
Kevin has no agricultural background, but he has learned from experience. Most dairy farmers we have visited do it out of passion, and it's very clear that Kevin is full of it. He, however, insists on the importance of keeping good records. Record keeping is a necessary element of good livestock business management. With no written records, farmers have to depend on their memory while making decisions regarding their farm practices. But memories can become unreliable after a few days, months, or years. Kevin narrates to us how this has helped in diagnosing some serious issues that have affected his cows in the past.
People don't keep records out there. You go to buy a cow, it's a gentleman's agreement. It tells you this cow is doing 30 liters, and by the grace of God, you have to believe that it is 30 liters. And there's nothing else that you can do but believe or not believe. And so we've kept records from all our cows from the day we bought them until today. And a record is important because a cow can do 20 liters today, 20 liters tomorrow, 22 liters the next day. It is impossible for that cow all of a sudden, that milk production, to drop by 5 liters. Here we usually have a give or take of not even 1 liter points, 20.4, 20.6, 20.8. The moment it's 21 or 22, we know there's something wrong. There are some cows that go on heat and it's a silent heat. You would not know the milk production has reduced. There are some cows which maybe the cow is being bullied, and so you don't know. You had a cow that was doing 30. It was doing 30, now it's doing 25, 20, 24, 23. You're wondering what's wrong, and maybe that cow is not eating properly. And so our records have really helped us, especially the production records, to know this cow needs this, and we challenge the cows. This cow today did 21. So let's try tomorrow. We give it an extra dairy meal, we give it extra Lucerne to see if it can do 22. And if it does 22, we still continue to challenge it until we get to a point that is called the peak.
Mortalities in the dairy industry is quite common. They are much higher than those in the cow and calf or feedlot industries. Death losses have not been studied very intensively in the dairy industry. These rising mortality levels represent a problem both in terms of financial losses and compromised animal welfare. Calf mortality is one of the important problems of calf rearing in dairy farms worldwide.
We've had, over the last 2 years, we've lost, I think, two cows. Yes, 2 cows. Unfortunately, when we opened them up, we found that one of the cows had swallowed a plastic bag. Because that cow, again, records, we always knew that cow had problems of bloating, right? And because it is not all the cows, it is one cow, we ask ourselves questions. Like how that cow's name was Tamara. So we used to ask ourselves, how come Tamara every morning will have a case of bloat? Every morning Tamara must have a case of bloat.
Besides several non-infectious factors such as management around birth, colostrum management, calf housing, feeding system, hygiene and pathogens play an important role in calf rearing. Freedom Farm is also unique in the way they practice breeding. They have a huge fleck view bull to serve the cows instead of relying on artificial insemination services. Most Kenyan dairy farmers are used to the common exotic breeds of cows such as the Frisian, the Ayrshire and the Guernsey. The Fleckview is a very hardy breed that can resist diseases, eat less and produce more. It is a dual-purpose cow kept for both milk and meat production. Through many years of selective breeding, Fleckview has acquired some of the characteristics that dairy farmers are looking for. The breed was introduced in the country in 2009 from South Africa. Kevin explains why they decided to go for this breed.
It's a very docile animal. It never is very aggressive. It never harasses anyone. And number two, it grows very rapidly. And then number three, it's a very hardy cow. For the last 3 years we've had this bull, we've only given it some medicine maybe 2 or 3 times. We've only called the vet I think 2 times or 3 times concerning that bull. But we've never had to call the vet again. We got to the bull because before we did that, our pregnancy rates were very low. Again, wherever your farm is located, sometimes it's a problem when the vet is so far away. So you call the vet. Obviously, because he's not an in-house vet, he takes very long to come. So by the time he's coming and he inseminates the animal, it's already late. So there's in fact a cow that, I think it was Daisy or Julie. For that 1 year, we inseminated her 9 times until we later came to find out there was a problem. And so you see, if it was a bull inseminating her 9 times, a bull is free. So for us, I would say for the most part it has worked. But now we are getting to a point where we are wanting to get rid of that bull because of inbreeding and just make sure that we have a different bull from a different sire.
At Freedom Farm, milking takes place 3 times in a day, and hygiene is very important while handling this precious commodity. The milk is weighed, stored in aluminium milk chans ready for delivery. The profits derived from the milk goes to assist in the education of girls at Uhuru Girls High School.
All our finances go to the same basket. And so it's very easy for him to just pull out the records on this is how much the farm has done, this is much. And so it goes to the general budget of the school. And so we actually don't know how they spend it. We only know we've given all our profits this year or this month to the school. And it goes, I think, to pay either teacher salaries or rent or electricity or other bills or even food.
According to Catherine Mitchell, the discipleship director at the school, some of the girls emerged top in last year's KCSE. This, she says, is motivation enough to continue supporting such girls who would have otherwise ended up being married young and have a hopeless future. She explains why they settled on dairy farming.
I would say when the organization first started, they did try other things. And for various circumstances and issues, we had to shift away from what we were doing. A lot of the reason being because of rain and water issues when we were at a different location. So when we were able to get this farm here, the business guys such as Kelvin really felt like dairy was a great option. And there was a barn already there and available, and so the Lord just really provided and opened those doors. And the dairy business allows for us just to continue to grow rather than always relying on what the weather is. The cows continue to produce, and it's also a demand economy here. Everyone uses milk, and so it gave us something that was continuously being needed.
Kevin advises other dairy farmers and those aspiring to get into the business to start humbly. one doesn't necessarily have to start with a big herd. Keep It KTN Farmers TV. Dairy Farms endeavors to guide and educate you on the best ways to run your dairy farm.